excited.
Hi, friend.
We'll do some introductions after our intro. Woo. Alright, I'm Linnea.
I'm Buzz.
Samantha.
I'm Amy. Elise.
And Elise is new with us today. You want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Elise. I am from the far off land of Utah, born and raised in California, hoping maybe someday to move to Arizona.
We're really
These
happy.
lovely people.
Yes. But yeah, she's joining us today. We're really excited. What are we talking about today, Buzz?
I don't know, it's your channel. I'm just barely here for the donuts.
Donuts. So I thought we should talk about more holiday stuff. We talked last week about some of the questions that we tend to get during the holidays, some of the statements that we hear during the holidays, and it kind of got me thinking about how the holidays tend to come with certain feelings, certain emotions for a lot of singles. And I thought maybe we'd discuss that a little bit just so we can commiserate, I guess, together and know that we're not all alone in feeling the way that we feel.
Works for me. Where do we start?
Well, I don't know. I guess we could start with Elise.
Great.
With our new person.
Good. Get the first the worst out
The
of the
first
way.
the worst. What is something that you find difficult about the holidays and being single?
Now, I do have to give my family props because they do a really great job of integrating me, and I do feel loved. The biggest issue for me, I would probably say, is balancing the energy of the room. It feels really draining because there's a bunch of kids, there are a bunch of adult conversations that I could join, or kid conversations that I enjoy, and it just feels like I am either put on a show, like I should be the one who has all the stories because I'm single and I have this fun life, or I should be entertaining the kids because I have a bunch of energy because I don't have kids I have to watch all of the things that I have to do. So it's difficult to figure out where I belong and how I can integrate my energy into the room.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, especially do I hang out with the adults? Do I hang out with kids? Because you don't necessarily quite feel like you fit in with the adults, but you also don't want to turn into just another kid because you are an adult. I guess there's a certain amount of, I'll jump into my topic, loneliness that comes, and it's nothing that anyone does specifically that makes you feel that way intentionally. It's just a matter of, we tend to think of, an adult is the ones who are married and have children. And so I'm not married, I don't have kids, so I don't quite fit into that category as an adult. I'm also not 5, so I don't fall into the category of children in the house running around playing games. And I like kids and I do want to run around with them and play games, but I also want to have the adult conversation and talk to my siblings that I haven't seen that I see once a year half the time. And there's just a certain amount of loneliness in that gap between, I don't fit in with this group and I don't fit in with that group, and I enjoy both of them, but I want to feel like an adult. And it's hard to feel like that when you don't fit into the, I'm not married, I don't have kids, and then when I sit down and I talk to my siblings, but they have kids, so they have to be like, oh yeah, this is really great conversation that we're having, and I gotta go pick my 2-year-old out, make sure she does not stick your hand in the oven, or make sure they're fighting, and I don't begrudge them that, and that's not anything that they can do about that, and it's not intentional that they want to give me their full attention. They love for their kids to be, entertained and engaged enough that they can come and just interact with me for a while, but that's not always the case. This last summer, actually, I was with my family, and I had 5 minutes in the car with my sister, and I realized that over the course of a week, I hadn't had anything other than, hey, how's it going? And it's hard to find your place amidst that all.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. Even like I don't really have there are no grandkids in my family, so I don't have so much of that problem with mixing with the kids or the adults. But anytime I'm with my extended family, or even when I visit some of my friends who are married and have children, there's always that distraction. It's like, oh, I'm important because I'm here and visiting you, but also it's my child, So it's hard to keep that same feeling of the relationship when there are distractions, which they're adorable because they're children, but also
Adorable
it's hard. It's hard.
Which is funny because sometimes, well, most of the time, I just get thrown in with the kids because I'm single. And I remember one year we were all playing games, and my brother thought it was a great idea to do adults versus kids, but there was an uneven amount of players, and so guess who they decided to push onto the kids team? Me! Because everybody else was like with their partners and with their spouses, and so here I am, a 26-year-old with my nieces and nephews aged like 10 and under, and then all of my siblings and my parents, and I was just like, okay, so this is what this feels like.
Well, there's really only one question to ask. Did you win?
No, we didn't, because, oh my gosh, and I got so mad about this because okay, so it was my little nephew's friend, like, made a mistake, and I was coaching him during his turn too. I was like, you need to do this and this and this, and he didn't do it, and I was like, oh my gosh, and then everybody else got mad at me for getting mad at him, and then I was like, oh my gosh, like, I should have never been on this team in the first place. But they all know how competitive I am, and so it's like, but yeah, like, that's the one thing that's frustrating during the holidays for me, is just like not being seen as a full-fledged adult. Yeah, it's just
Being stuck at the kid table,
Yeah.
basically. It's that stark difference, kind of that opposition, like opposition in all things is important, right?
Is it?
Yeah, right? And supposedly that's what they tell us, right?
I don't like
But you can, that way you can, then you can see the difference. And so having that huge difference, I mean, again, you can appreciate the difference, right?
yeah.
But then, there's a positive and a negative about it, I guess. I don't know, it's a lot of things. So the holidays are hard, I think. I mean, you have all sorts of other little issues that I think happen. Taking pictures or sleeping arrangements. If you're
Sleeping arrangements when you're at grandma's, because you're always stuck on the couch.
You're stuck on the couch.
And the married people, well, they get the guest bed. Or the floor, or we're gonna take all these off the couch, we're gonna put, and that's your little mock bed, and we're gonna roll you up like a burrito, and the only blanket we have, which is the dog's blanket, but it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. We shook it out.
Like, you're gonna get shoved in like the laundry room.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the washing machine, and everybody comes in to air their dirty laundry.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So there are little things that combine, but
Pictures
are hard too.
I think pictures are hard anytime you get together with your family.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, time for pictures. Weddings.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a wedding. Okay, now you and your family, while we're here at this beautiful setting, you get over here.
You're all dressed up nice.
Okay,
Perfect
you
timing.
over here. Okay, you two families together because you're related. Okay, and then you realize you're at the end and they just keep handing you the camera going, you take them because you don't have a family, you're not taking a picture of nothing.
Yeah.
Get out of our way and take our pictures.
Yep. That one's real hard. And they don't do it on purpose. Like, they're
No,
not
it's
purposely
just-
trying to exclude you,
it's
but
just-
you notice it. It's that
Well,
moment when you're like,
when you
oh.
sit there and you've got 5 cell phones in your
Yeah.
hand and they're like, oh, take 2 with mine, you realize, I'm the only one over here, no one can help me hold them, and everybody else is over there, and I'm supposed to take 2. You wanted
This
2
one.
wait, which one's yours? It's the iPhone.
That's when you say, just give me one phone, and I'll send them to everybody.
Or you just start taking selfies. You're like, okay,
Oh my gosh, I love that.
yeah,
You just zoom in to one niece or nephew, and you're just like, oh yeah, everybody, it's perfect.
everyone's just a shot. Smile, Billy, smile.
Or you take a picture of the dog.
Ways to make yourself laugh. But it's a real thing. You notice it in those moments. I've noticed that going on trips even. I noticed that just recently. We went on a trip and everyone was like, oh, take a picture with me and my spouse. I'm like, okay. And then take a picture of me and my spouse. Okay. And so I had to be the one to initiate the group photos because that was the only photo I was going to do.
Group photo.
Yeah.
So riddle me this. If that's the issues that we face, which
They're real.
they're real,
They're real.
how do you get around it, or how do you live with it, or how do you deal with it? Have you found any ways that you say, I tried this and it really worked? Or are we all just gonna sit here and go, no, it pretty much sucks?
I mean, it pretty much sucks.
Kind of holidays just kind of suck for us.
They kind of do. I don't know. You can look for the small blessings. Like they always say that, count your blessings, right? But I don't know. It's kind of a blue Christmas type thing sometimes as well. Like you accept that
We can't always have what we want.
we can't always have
I think
all of the
to a
things.
certain extent, there are some situations in which you can have conversations and set boundaries. And I also want to participate in grown-up conversations, and I don't appreciate it when you guys constantly shove me off to take care of your children because to be your built-in babysitter, so that you can have free time, and because that's just my job, right? Because I'm the only one without kids. So sometimes you can have conversations and you can create boundaries, but to a certain extent, I think that's kind of why we wanted to have this conversation, was so that we could say, I feel like this, and I have this, and the point of this was to say that you're not alone in feeling like this, and
Yeah.
if there's something maybe you can't do about it necessarily, if there's some aspects of being single that are just lonely, and that's why we wanted to have this conversation, so we can feel a little bit less lonely since we all sat down on the couch together and talked about it, and we hope that this can help you guys to feel less lonely.
How does Billy Joel say it? You're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone.
Yeah,
That's so cute.
I love that.
What do you mean that's so cute?
I don't
Please
know.
tell me that. No, never mind.
Anyway.
Amateurs.
Poetic, how about that? It was so poetic. It was cute, it was poetic, it was beautiful. Cute in that it was like, that was really, whatever, I'm not gonna explain myself. Thanks so much. If you have any other thoughts about that, like any feelings like that you want to share below, or write us in an email, please share with us. We'd love to continue this conversation and, feel more combined with you, or more connected. I feel like we all have a group of loneliness drinkers because we're not drinking alone. This has been LDS Singles Anonymous. Thanks for watching.
Catch you later.